Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second part of the Ganesha ATHARVA SHEERSHA episode. And we stopped at the first one at the verse 6, and now we delve into the 7th verse with Uncle Chris Marlowe again. And Uncle, I think we can go straight into it.
So Ganadim means, Gana means the word Gana, and Adi means the beginning, or the first. We know, of course, Adi Shakti, primordial power, the first emanation of the divine, the Adi Shakti. So in this case, Ganadim means simply the first letter of the word Gana. In other words, G. So Ga. Puravam means in front, before, previously, something like that. And then Ucharya means is to be pronounced. Ud means up, and Charya means to move. So Ucharya means to pronounce, to move up into your speaking voice. So Ganadyam Purvamacharya means actually Shri Ganesha manifest first. Ucharya, as well as pronounce, also means to manifest, to appear. So Shri Ganesha appears first, and then Varanadim Tadanantaram is Varna has many meanings actually, but in this case it means a letter, one of the letters of the alphabet, and the Varadim, the first letter, is a short A, which is A. So Tadanantaram means next. It actually Ananta means in between. Tadanantaram means with nothing in between. Anta. So that means immediately or next. So Anuswara means a nasal sound. So that's telling us how to spell the word gum. Then there's the Ardhendu Lasitam Tarena Ridham. Gum is written with the Anuswara is like a dot over the letter with a little crescent underneath, like it is in Om. When you write Om, you have a dot with a little crescent under it.
Yeah.
And Ardhendu is the crescent. So the crescent means that, and Tarena Ridham, Tare means a star, and so Tarena means with a star. So in this case, the star is the dot. So you've got the crescent and the dot, which is like actually similar to the crescent and the star, which is used as a symbol of Islam these days. The Ardhendu Lasitam means the crescent makes a full reverberation. Lasitam means to reverberate. And Tarena Ridham means rhythm means to increase or to sort of give extra power to. So with the dot, which is the Anuswara, then it says Etat Tava Manuswarupam. Etat Tava means thus or in this way. Tava is yours. It's part of like Tvam. It's the of you, Tava. And then Manu means a mantra, and Swarupam means is your form. It's the form. So Etattava Manu Swarupam means this is the form of your mantra. Okay. Right. Having said that, it then tells you how to spell gum again. It says Gakara Purva Rupam, Gakara. So all the letters, when you have a letter like Ga, to give it a name, you add the word Kara at the end, meaning Kara means to make. So Gakara means the letter, so it makes that sound, Ga, Gakara. And we use the same, we say Om Kara or Aham Kara. It means making that thing. So the letter G, Purva, we've already mentioned, means first or in front. Rupam is form. So G is the first form. Anus akaro madhyama rupam. So letter A is the middle form, and anuswara chanta rupam. The nasal sound is the final, last. Anta means end, so antya means final. Rupam means form. And so again, it's told us how to spell gum, G-A. And then it says bindur uttara rupam. So that's saying that the bindu, which actually represents, you can say it represents the Atma.
Mm-hmm.
So when you awaken the Kundalini, as it rises, as it passes through the heart, it triggers the Atma, and it rises, has a special nadi, a special channel through which the Atma actually rises up into the Sahasrara with the rising of the Kundalini, so that the two join together in Sahasrara to give us our connection to the all-pervading divine consciousness. So the Bindu is the form above that. Uttara means above. Like this, it also means, as we know, it means north or left as well. So Uttar Pradesh, for example, in India is the northern people. But there's a whole actual philosophy in India based on Bindu and Nada. So Bindu is like the Adi Shakti, and Nada is Shri Shiva. Mm-hmm. Nada means sound. There's a whole thing about how when the two of them join together, when Nada and Bindu join, they create this universe. The universe is produced as a result of the combination of these things. So this is kind of describing that slightly. So it's Nada Sandana means join together with the Nada, with the sound, the reverberation sound. Samhita, Sandhi, literally means join together according to, there are rules in Sanskrit for how to join words together, where you modify each letter to blend into the next one. So that is called Sandhi, that word joining system. So the whole thing is joined together according to the rules. And SHEERSHA Ganesha Vidya, this is the Ganesha Vidya. Vidya, we know, is knowledge, but it's specifically used to mean mantra knowledge, the knowledge of how to praise the deity and thing. So this is Sri Ganesha's knowledge, SHEERSHA Ganesha Vidya. Then, strangely enough, it then describes who's the composing seer, the meter, the deity, the ruling, presiding deity of this mantra. Now, this is quite strange because normally that is done at the beginning, but here, for some reason, it's done at the end of the middle verse, which is a little bit odd. Anyway, it says Ganaka Rishi. That means, Ganaka means a mathematician or an astrologer even, or something like that. Or it could be just somebody's name. Anyway, the Rishi means the seer, the person who composed the thing. So it's implying that the name of the person who wrote the Ganesha Sheersha. Then it says Nifrit Gayatri Chanda. So Nifrit means mixed. And Gayatri is, as we mentioned, is the name of the meter. It's like 8 syllables. Meter. Chanda means the meter, the rhythm of the thing. And then he says, Ganapati Devata, that's Shri Ganesha is the presiding deity, the Devata, means the godhood. And then he gives the mantra itself. And some people, I mean, personally, I quite like to say that 3 times. If I'm saying Ganesha ATHARVA SHEERSHA, it's quite nice to actually repeat that mantra, having gone through all the trouble of describing it and everything else. It's quite nice to say it more than once. Ganapati actually takes the attention up quite nicely. I mean, you can think of it if you want as Ga is Vadara, Na means man, Nara means, so that's the Nabi. Gan Pa is Bija mantra of the heart. Ta presumably is Vishuddhi. Ye is like Yeshu, Agya Chakra. So as you say, Ganapati actually kind of pings off all the chakras up. And then Nama means salutations, or we bow. But it's a mantra associated with the Sahasrara, actually, because it's the mantra of surrender, where we lose our sense of ego. So Ma means me, and Na means not. So Nama actually means not me. So it's like, get rid of my ego, become fully absorbed in the divine nature.
Okay, can we go a little bit back? Because in this verse, when it says "Etattava manu swarupam," and of course we talk swarupa, which is like the meaning of connection to God, and we are like even identical with it. In the Brahma Supra, is described the 4 levels of connection with the divine, but Shimadaji also mentioned another one, which is the Tadatmya.
Tadatmya, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are these, Shimadaji mentions on a few occasions, these different levels of achieving sort of closeness to God. So there's Salokya, which means being in the same sort of world.
Mhm.
Loka means a world, so the 3 worlds are called the Tri Loka. So that means being in the divine world, that's in heaven, up in the Sahasrara and above. Salokya, so it means Sa means with, or in the same Lokya, the same world, the same realm. And there's then Samipya, which is to be actual closeness to God, to actually feel the presence of God. There's Samnidya, which is to be, again, it's a bit closer, it's more the companionship of God. Somehow there's some sort of communication between you and them. But then there's the 4th state, which he mentions, which is where you actually become sort of at one, where you become completely absorbed in the divine nature, that you just feel that you and the divine nature are the same thing. That is really full self-realization, to understand that our Atma, our spirit, our consciousness is actually the divine consciousness, that it is the divine that is looking out through our eyes as we speak. And this concept we have of me as some separate being is actually only an illusion.
Yes, verse 8.
Verse 8, yeah. Okay, so verse 8 is just 3 lines, because it is actually just a Gayatri mantra.
Mm-hmm.
So it's based, I say, on the original Gayatri mantra, which is probably, maybe 10,000 years old. I mean, it appears in the Rig Veda, which is the oldest of the Vedas. And the Vedas, I would say, are collections of the best writings, whatever people came up with, the best bits they kept over thousands of years, probably. So the Gayatri mantra could be anything up to 10,000 years old. So the form of it is the 3 lines. So this has the same 3-line structure. The first line is Ekadantaya Vidmahe. And so Ekadanta, as we know, is the name of Shri Ganesha. It means having one tusk. And Vidmahe is the first person plural of vid, which means normally means to know. So it means we know. So that, but if it actually meant we know the one-tusked God, it would be, in the accusative case, it would be Ekadantam Vidmahe, we know the one-tusked God. But it's not, it's in the dative case, it's Ekadantaya. And in fact, vid has a secondary meaning, which is when used with the dative case, it means we approach, or we wish to know, we desire to have the darshan, the blessings of Shri Ekadanta, the one-tusked God. Then the second line is Vakratundaya Dhimahi. So Vakratunda, Vakra means curved, and Tunda means his trunk, or his, any beak or nose. Somebody with a big curvy nose would be called Vakratunda. But Shri Ganesha's, his trunk is curled, it curls round, and actually curled normally to the left. When it curls to the left, he's in a more benevolent mood. When it curls to the right, he's being a bit more austere, and you have to be a bit more precise and careful.
Mm.
So Vakratundaya Dhimahi. Dhimahi means to direct your attention, to meditate. So again, Mahi means we meditate on the God with the curled trunk. And then Tanno Danti Prachodayat. So Tan means, Tata means that. No is us. And Danti means the one with a tooth. Mm-hmm. So Shri Ganesha is quite often depicted actually holding his broken tooth in his right hand. Okay, so there are several stories, many stories actually, about how he lost his tooth, how he comes to only have one tusk. One of them is that he was asked to be sage Vyasa's scribe to write down the Mahabharata. And he pulled out his tusk in order to use that as a writing tool. Okay. So when it says Danti, that tends to mean that he's holding a tusk in his hand rather than that he has one tusk left. And Prachodayat, Prachod means to lead or to drive us on, to stimulate us and impel us. And Shrimati mentions that the word pra, when pra comes before any verb, chud means to lead. And prachud, pra means, Shrimati says, it always means enlightenment. So pra means forwards or upwards or enlightened. So, and prachodayat, that ending means may that God with the tusk lead us on or impel us, drive us on to enlightenment. But these names of Shri Ganesha, like Ekadanta, do have some double meanings to them. And in the case of Ekadanta, that name actually appears 3 times in this second half of the Ganesha ATHARVA. So it's obviously an important name. So if we split it up in slightly differently, A, letter E, is used. It means the Kundalini actually, and the letter E is actually written as a kind of triangle. It's like the shape of the sacrum, and it even has a little hook on the bottom. The letter E, like the coccyx on the bottom of the sacrum bone. So the letter E in Devanagari is very much a representation of the sacrum. So E represents the Kundalini. Kad means what, but it means like what, like kind of. So it can mean anything that's bad or unpleasant or inauspicious. Okay, and then anta means end. So he makes an end. He destroys anything bad in the way of the Kundalini. In other words, he clears the central channel. He clears the path of the Kundalini. So when we say Ekadanta, actually you can feel the Sushumna Nadi kind of clearing and the Kundalini rising up. Yeah. So Ekadantaya Vidmahi, he clears the path of the Kundalini rising. And then Vakratunda, again, if we split it slightly differently to Vak, which means speech. Speech is a quality of Shri Brahma and Saraswati. Both are known as the givers of speech. It's a quality of the right side. And Vak, speech, Rat means pleasure or passion. And again, Rajas, the quality of the right side, means passion. That's the quality of the right side. And Dhimahi means we meditate, we direct our attention. Again, attention, we know, is the power of the right side, comes from the liver. And so this second line works on the right channel. Vakratundaya Dhimahi. So he's the, I missed out a bit there. So Vak, speech, Rat is this passion. Unda means like a flow or an upwelling, sort of like a fountain or a spring, wellspring. So Vakratundaya Dhimahi. So we meditate on the God who is this upwelling power of speech and pleasure and passion. And then Tannodanti. Again, if we split it up to tan, which is short for which is tat, meaning that, the end is changed to n, tan, before no, because it has to agree. So that, tat, means the all-pervading divine consciousness. Yes, the formless God is tat, meaning that, and this, idam, as we know from the first half, refers to the material world, where that can be experienced with the senses. So tat is what is beyond the senses, and idam is what can be experienced through the senses. Okay, so verse 9 is describing some of Sri Ganesha's qualities and also describing some of the ways in which he is to be worshipped. So it starts off with a few of his qualities. So the first is Ekadantam, as we know, means the one tusked. Chatur hastam, chatur means four, hasta is the hand, although actually an elephant's nose, its trunk is called the hasta. And in fact, in Hindi, an elephant is called hasti, because he has this kind of, elephants can do a lot with their noses, like a hand, they can hold things and do stuff. But anyway, I don't think it means he has 4 trunks anyway. So he had 4 hands. Pasham and Ankusha are the Pasha is the rope, it's the noose, and Ankush is the thing that an elephant driver holds. It's like a hook on the end of a stick. So both of those things are used by elephant drivers. So when you park up an elephant for the night, what you do is you tie its back leg to a tree, and that stops it from being able to run away. So we have an elephant camp, for example, in our town or just outside it, and if you go there, the elephants, they're all tied by their back legs to trees. No, not too tight. I mean, there's a bit of room there, but so that's the pasha. So it's something that ties you up. It controls you. You can say. So, and then the ankush is the driving stick, and elephants are driven by the hook. If they want the elephant to turn to the right, you hook its right ear, it goes that way, or you hook its left ear, it goes that way. And then it has a sort of point at the end, and if you stab the elephant with the point, it makes it go, you know. Elephants have very thick skin, you know, so it doesn't really hurt them very much. And okay, so that's an ankush, so that's a driving stick. It's kind of, they're a bit like the sort of left side and the right side. The pasha, the bonds are like our conditionings, things that sort of tie us to this life. And the ankush is like the stimulation, the driving force. So that's like left and right side in a way. Pasha mankusha dharanam dara. Daring means to hold in the hand, you know. So he's got. So normally he's depicted with these 2. He has 4 hands. So these 2 are on his back hands, the rope and the elephant stick are in his back hands, and his front hands are more benevolent, you could say. And so then we've got radam chavaradam haste vibranam. So radam means his tooth. Radam actually means a splitter, but it's a kind of joke because radam and varadam is the sort of same word with the 1 letter added. So radam means, so in his right hand he's holding the tusk. It's nearly always in his right hand because he's using it as a weapon or as a writing tool or something. And then the left hand is varadam, is giving blessings, giving boons. And that's where the left hand is held open with the fingers pointing downwards. So Shrimatiji's famous photograph, the black and white photo, she's got her left hand in this varadam shape, and in her right hand she has the upraised right hand, which is called the abhayam. It's giving fearlessness, it's giving protection, like this. So in fact, anywhere in the world, if you meet somebody and you raise your right hand like that, open right hand, it means, you know, friendly greeting, yeah? Because you're not holding any weapon in your hand, you know, it's like, here's my empty right hand, you know? So it confers, you know, fearlessness on anybody, more or less, if you go like that. And in fact, we have versions of the Ganesha SHEERSHA from 200 or 300 years ago. And in those versions, in the early ones, actually didn't say Radam Chavaradam, it actually said Abhayam and Varadam Haste Bibranam. So originally it was that he had the Abhayam and the Varadam, as in Shrimatiji's photograph. And I guess it changed partly because of this idea of him holding a tusk, but also I guess they like the joke, the pun, the Radam Chavaradam Haster Bibranam. Haster means in the hand. We mentioned Haster is the hand, and Bibranam means again Branam. It's like same as Dharanam. It means holding. So holding in the hands. Okay. So then it says Mushaka Dvajam. So Mushaka, or Mushana, can mean a mouse or a rat. I mean, can mean either. It actually comes from the word mush, meaning to steal. So it's any rodent which steals your food. You know, so mice and rats do that. Strategy used to use either word. Sometimes she would say mouse, sometimes she would say rat. I think in general, if you look at the size of Shri Ganesha's vehicle, it is really a rat rather than a mouse. But mice, I guess, are considered a bit more sort of cute and friendly. So then it says Raktam Lambodaram. So he's a red-colored Rakta. Rakta actually has a lot of meanings, and it just means sort of color originally. And but if in India, for example, if you ask somebody what was their favorite color, they'd look a bit puzzled, you know, because like, well, red, of course. I mean, what other color is there? You know, red is the color, you know. Other colors are sort of a bit secondary, you know. It's a bit like if you ask them sort of what's your favorite fruit, you know, they'd look puzzled. Well, mango, of course, you know, what other fruit is there?
Yeah.
So they so anyway, so he's red-colored rectum, but it can also mean actually beautiful or just kind of colorful rectum. So anyway, then it says rectum lambodarum. So lamba means to stick out or to hang down, and udara means the belly. So lambodara means a sticking out or hanging down belly. So we know he has a big belly, and a bit like sort of Winnie the Pooh, something like that.
Yeah.
He's a very sort of Ganesha quality. And of course, he's famous, Sri Ganesha, for having this sort of appetite. You know, he can eat huge amounts, especially anything sweet. You know, he'll consume large amounts. So he's Raktam Lambodaram. He's red-colored with his big belly. He's Shurpa Karakam. Shurpa is something that's called a winnowing fan. So it's like a wicker basket, which you on a windy day you fill it with all your wheat or your rice with the husks, and you toss the stuff up into the air. And as you toss it up, the wind blows away all the light chaff, and the heavy grain stays in the fan. So it's called a winnowing fan. It means it's for separating what you want from what you don't want. And so anyway, the elephant's ears are shaped a bit like this fan. They're sort of slightly triangular with a curved edge to them, like that. So Karakam means having ears. So he has ears which are shaped like a winnowing fan. And Rakta Watasam. So now we actually get the next few names actually describe ways in which Sri Ganesha should be worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when we do puja, there are 5 main things that we offer in puja, and you can connect them actually with the 5 lower chakras. So the one that's the lowest one, the Muladhara, is connected with the perfume, because the sense of smell actually is connected with the Muladhara chakra. So the perfume we offer is connected with the Muladhara, and then for the Navi we offer food, or it can be just a glass of water actually sometimes, or something to eat, some sweets or some food items, what's called Naivedya. And then we have Dupa and Deepa. So dhupa is, we know, is the incense we offer, and deepa is the lamp. So deepa and dhupa are the lamp and incense. And then there's the pushpa, the flowers. So flowers are connected with the Vishuddhi chakra, and the incense is connected with the air element of the heart, and the deepa, the light, is connected with the Swadhisthana chakra, which has the quality of fire and light, both the qualities of Swadhisthana. So those are the 5 things we offer. In puja, we offer the dhupa, the deepa, the naivedya, the gandha, the perfume, and the pushpa, the flowers. So they're all mentioned here, really. So the first thing it says is rakta vasasam. So vasa, strangely enough, has 2 or 3 quite distinct meanings. One is clothes, and another one is incense. And why it should mean both those things, I'm not quite sure, but it does. So rakta vasasam is usually translated as you have red clothes, but it could also mean you have red incense. Then it says Raktagandhanu Liptangam. So Raktagandha is, again, Shrimataji mentions it's a special type of sandalwood tree which has this sort of red color. Sandalwood paste, we know, normally is a kind of pale or yellow color, but there is a type of sandalwood tree which produces a more red-colored paste, and it's called Raktagandha, and Shri Ganesha is particularly fond of that. So, Anu Liptam Gam, Anu, we mentioned before, Nusvara means following on after. Lipta means to be oiled or anointed. So, Anu Lipta is to be anointed, usually meaning after a bath. After you've had bath, and you rub your body with some unguents, some oils, and different things like this. So, in this case, his body is anga. His body is smeared, is anointed with this red sandalwood paste. So that's the perfume. Might say. Then it says Rakta Pushpai Supujitam. So Rakta again means red. Pushpa is the flowers, and Supujitam means Pujita means worshipped. We know puja means to worship, so Pujitam is worshipped, and Supujitam means auspiciously worshipped or very nicely worshipped, like that. So Rakta Pushpai Supujitam, so you're auspiciously worshipped with red flowers. So then it says Bhaktanu Kampanam Devam. So Bhakta means the devotee, that's us. And then Anukampanam actually literally means to shiver or shake along with somebody else. And it means to be compassionate. Mm-hmm. That you actually, if somebody else is suffering, you also suffer because you have compassion for their suffering. So Anukampanam, the compassionate Deva, means God. So the God is the God who has compassion on his devotees. Now this is an epithet normally of Sri Shiva. He's considered to be the compassionate God, the God who is compassionate for devotees. So you can say it's referring to Lord Shiva. Then the next line says, Jagat Karanam. Jagat is the world or the universe. And it comes from gam, meaning, or gut, meaning to move. So they understood this, that Jagat, what moves, is what is created, and that the Supreme Spirit is nirvana. He's has no movement. He's actually still silent. So supposing what's moving is the universe, and what is not moving is God Almighty. So Jagat, the world, Karanam means to create. So creator of the world, Jagat Karanam. So that refers to, that's Shri Brahma, Brahmadeva. He's the creator of the universe. So we've got Lord Shiva, the Anukampanam, the compassionate God, Jagat Karanam, the creator of the universe, and then Achyutam means the one who is permanent, who's fixed, who cannot slip or fall or change in any way. And that is the name of Sri Vishnu, actually, Achyuta. Okay, so it's just saying that Sri Ganesha is actually, he's Lord Shiva, he's Sri Brahmadeva, he's Sri Vishnu. And then the next line is Avirbhutam Trashishtiyadao. Avirbhutam, Avir means visible, to be able to be seen in front of our eyes, and Bhuta means to become. Avirbhuta, so that means becoming visible or manifesting. And Cha just means and it's just used as a sort of way of, doesn't mean much, just fills in the meter. And then Shrishti means the creation. And Adao means at the beginning. So as we know, Adi is the beginning. And for some strange reason, which even Sanskrit scholars admit is rather strange, the locative, meaning at the beginning, is not adyao, but just adao. So, okay, so he becomes visible, avirbhutam, or manifests at the beginning of the creation, Shrishtyadao. And Prakrite and Purushat Param. So in the Vedas especially, the universe is created by the interplay of two forces. So one is Prakrit, which you can translate as nature, if you like. So the power of the Adi Shakti, the sort of the laws of the universe. And then Purusha, which means man actually, but it also means the Supreme Spirit. It means the formless consciousness. So again, it's a Vedic term, Purusha. So in later, it became known as Brahman or Sadashiva, as different names. But these, referring to it as Prakrit and Purusha, is actually sort of a Vedic terms for the interplay of nature and spirit, and that they create this universe. So Param means beyond. So he is Sri Ganesha is beyond this duality of nature and spirit. He is, because he's everything, he's all of them anyway. So he exists actually before that separation into the two. He's all of it. Right, so all of that is describing Sri Ganesha and giving some hints on how he's worshipped. And then it says, evam, which means thus, or in this way. Yayati is to meditate. So he, whoever meditates, he, yo, means he. So evam dhyayati yo. So he who meditates in this manner. Nityam means constantly or every day, eternally. But actually, Nityam also means inside, actually, something internally. So it's important for us to meditate internally to allow this reality to experience, to feel the reality inside. It's not just an external worship. It has to be something inner at the same time. So whoever worships in this way every day, sa yogi, that yogi, yoginam, of yogis, varaha, becomes, vara means the best, the most excellent. It also means a boon, as we know. Like varada means giving, granting boons or giving blessings. So you could say that yogi achieves the boon of yogis, what do yogis desire? Well, they desire to become fully immersed in the divine nature. So that's what you will achieve if you worship in this way constantly. All right, so that's the end of, let's say, verse 9. All right, so we come to verse 10, and this is known as the 8 names, because there's 8 names here which are given for Shri Ganesha. So the first 3 names all end with the word pati, or pataye, actually. So pati means one who protects, from the verb pa, which means to protect. So it means the Lord, or the Master, or God, but sort of as a protector, as the one who's looking after you. And in fact, pati can even mean a husband as well. So Lakshmi Pati, for example, it means husband of Lakshmi. His name is Shri Vishnu. So anyway, so it says Namo. So Namo means salutations. We bow to Vrata Patiye. So Vrata means different kind of groups of things, different assemblages of stuff, groups. So the Panchavrata, the 5 groups, actually are the 5 races of humanity. So in a way, so it could mean he's the Lord of, the 5 races of men. Possibly. Then it says Namo Ganapati. So we know Ganapati means he's the Lord of the Ganas, but the Ganas can mean the workers, Sri Shiva's workers, his servants who perform all the duties. I mean, we don't make our own heart beat, something makes it beat for us. So in a way we can say that's being done by the Ganas, they're under the guise of Lord Shiva. He's the Atma spirit, which is making our heart beat. We don't have to do it ourselves.
But also the Ganas are like the anticorps. They're running the blood.
Yep. Yes, they also do that job, yeah. As I say, actually, our cells, the cells in our body are actually all, what runs them actually largely is the mitochondria.
Mm-hmm.
And mitochondria are essentially bacteria that have got sort of trapped inside our cells, you might say. So you could say that, all these things like white blood cells and antibodies and things, they're all sort of forms of bacteria, really. So really our whole of life is actually operated by the bacteria, and we are just sort of visiting consciousness that's inhabiting this body, but it's actually being run by something else for us, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about it too much. You let them do the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's great. And then the pramata patiye. The pramata means, mata actually means sort of destroy. So the pramata actually are the servants of Lord Shiva, and they're often depicted as being kind of quite strange looking. Shrimaji mentions, so the pramata actually are these kind of powers that are like destructive servants of Lord Shiva. And I think we mentioned last time that we tend to think of destruction as something bad in the West, because we come from a sort of materialistic background. But actually, destruction is actually the highest form of love, because what is being destroyed is only something that's an illusion. It's only something temporal and illusory. And the ultimate reality can never be destroyed. So by destroying all the illusions, we are enabled to see the reality. So actually the pramata really operate in the central channel. They actually clear the path for us to know the ultimate reality of this universe. So in a way, these three names, Vratapati means works on the left side, Ganapati works on the right side, and the Pramatapatiye works on the central channel. And as we mentioned before, Shrimaji says Pra always means enlightenment. So the Pramata, they're destroying things in order for us to get enlightenment, to get supreme knowledge. Right, then it says Namaste Astu. So namas, we know, means bowing. Te is to you, and astu means may it be, may there be. So namaste astu means may there be salutations to you. Okay, so then these two names appear, Lambodharaya. So Lambodha, as we know, means big belly. We mentioned in the previous verse. But actually, it implies that the Kundalini awakens, because when the Kundalini awakens, when it arises from the sacrum, it tends to make the back arch a bit, all of the back arches, and that pushes the belly forwards and down a bit. So when the Kundalini rises, actually, we get this sticking out belly. And even before Sahaja Yoga, actually, it was quite a well-known phenomenon that people who meditated a lot got a big belly. People would say, oh, you've got a meditator's belly. Yeah. So, but also, we can split the word up, Lambodharaya. Lam, as we know, is actually the Bija mantra of the earth, Mother Earth. It's the Muladhara Bija. So Lam is the earth. Bodha, like Buddha, means awakened. And Ra is the fire, the sacred fire, the Kundalini. So Lambodhara means like the Mother Earth, the earth element, awakening the Kundalini. And Shrimaji always said about Sahaja Yoga that it was like putting a seed into the Mother Earth. That it just sprouts, it automatically sprouts when you put it in the Mother Earth. It knows when to sprout. So Lambodhara definitely has this connotation of the Kundalini awakening and sprouting up. So, and then Lambodhara Ekadantaya, we mentioned Ekadanta was not only meant one-toothed, but also air was the path of the Sushumna, the Kundalini, and Kad was bad and Anta meant ending. So he clears the path of the Kundalini. So Lambodhara awakens the Kundalini, Ekadanta clears the path of the Kundalini, the Sushumna Nadi. Vigna Nashine destroys the Vigna, the obstruction, the obstacle. And what is the obstacle? Well, of course, it's our ego, it's brain we have, And so Vigna Nashine, destroyer of obstacles, to me means is breaking through this obstacle of our ego in the head. And then Shiva Sutaya means, Suta means the son of Shiva, son of Shiva. But it means son in the same sense as, like we say in English, we say the offspring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you call your children your offspring. So Suta means the same idea. It's instead of offspring, it means like upspring, actually. So it means children, but it also means like a fountain, an upspringing. And Shira means something what is auspicious or blissful. So there's this Shiva Sutaya, as well as meaning son of Lord Shiva, can mean a sort of fountain of bliss. So when the Kundalini passes through this obstacle of in our brains, of the ego and conditionings, we get this fountain of bliss in the Sahasrara. And Shri Varada. So when you say Shri Varada, you feel the attention actually going up into this higher area here. So Varada means this giving of blessings, or the granting of wishes, that sort of thing. So Shri Varada Murtaye Murti means the form or an image. So actually, like the statue in a temple will be called the Murti. It's the image, or even the photograph. Shrimataji's photograph, you could say, is a Murti. It's an image of Shrimataji. So he's the image, he's the form which grants this highest state of blessings. And Namo Nama, we know, means salutations, that we bow. And then we say, Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Nama, meaning recognizing that she is the incarnation of all this. So Sakshat means incarnation, in person, before our eyes.
So, Uncle, should we close the episode?
Yeah, sure.
So, thank everyone for listening. This episode is the second part of the Ganesha ATHARVA SHEERSHA Researchers in Sahaja Yoga Vol.1 episode. And Uncle, thank you really much. Thank you really much for being. Thank you really much. And this is the first book of a collection of 7 books. So, Uncle, this is just the beginning, I would say. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows? Let's see. Maybe we'll go over all the other books. Thank you, everyone.
Anytime.
Thank you, Uncle. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye. Jai Shri Mataji.
Bye.